Boxing fans are very fickle individuals. So it's set in stone. Shakur Stevenson will take on Frank Martin, I believe November 16th, which is a Thursday, which is absolutely weird because I'm not used to fights happening on the middle, like at the end of the week, not on a weekend, because then we got to work the next day. I might take off because you know how long the boxing matches take to happen, and I might want to make videos, be up all night, so on and so forth. Man, y'all, I'm like, why is it on the middle of the weekday? It just on a weekday, sorry. It's crazy. But anyway, man, I bring up that fight. I'm gonna break down that fight in another video. But I really want to focus on the trainer of Frank Martin in this situation, Derrick James. I say boxing fans are so fickle because before Errol Spence fought Terrence Bud Crawford, Derrick James was a great trainer, an outstanding trainer in people's eyes. He was one of the best trainers in boxing. He be having his guys sharp, so on and so forth. All his guys, he have them ready, prepared, in great conditioning, so on and so forth. And after Errol Spence got severely outclassed by Terrence Bud Crawford, now Derrick James ain't shit. Now he's a trash trainer. Now he's a hype job, just like those other PBC guys are hype job. And I heard, you remember what I told y'all what people mean when they say them PBC guys? PBC guys is code for black, right? Especially if you didn't make your career top rank. And that's why I said as much as Bud is a talented fighter, it's extremely special. There are a lot of non-black boxing fans who use Terrence Crawford as a prop or, as a prop to trash the PBC, right? They really didn't love Bud like that because they wasn't buying Bud pay-per-views like that at all. But they would use him as like a, what's the word I'm looking for? As like a, trying to figure out the word. But yeah, as a prop to trash the PBC guys because he was with Bob Arum, the non-black guy, the white guy who was running his stable, and people hated Al Heyman being looked at as like this savior from a lot of racist or prejudiced behaviors by other promotional companies. So they love to trash Al and so on and so forth, even though PBC been putting on the best fights in boxing all fucking year. Nonetheless, right? People they trashing Derrick James now. Now he trash, he garbage. He don't know nothing. He most overrated trainer in boxing. But before the fight, he was one of the best trainers in boxing. Now, I can admit, yes, he could have had a better game plan for Terrence Crawford. They could have had a plan B or C. But I'm here to tell you all, Errol is one of my favorite fighters in boxing. I'm still riding with my dog. What I saw in that match, I've been watching boxing for a long time. A plan B and C was still going to result in a Terrence Crawford win. Errol could have looked better in defeat. But I just think from what I saw, the skill level is a big gap between the skill level. Errol is extremely skilled, but Terrence Crawford is skilled on another level. Okay? And I don't know if a different game plan was going to be able to fix that. He's quicker than Errol. Errol is not as quick as him. So when Errol was landing a significant shot, he was getting hit with 2 and 3 shots. Getting countered with those same shots. When he threw a punch and got hit and then landed his shot, but he got hit before his punch even landed, even though I feel like he threw the punch first. You know what I mean? So that's when I tell you the difference between speed and all of that, man. It was just a difference in that. And I don't think, even if Derrick James gave him a plan B or C, even if they had a plan B or C, I still think it was going to be where Terrence Crawford was still going to be able to be victorious in that fight. And I say it too because Errol couldn't hurt Terrence, even though he was hitting him with some thudding shots. He was hitting Terrence with some shit, and it wasn't moving. It wasn't moving Terrence. Errol was hitting Terrence with some shit early in that fight, and it wasn't moving him. It wasn't affecting him. And that's Errol's bread and butter, is to wear you down and hit you with some heat to slow the momentum up, to slow your movement, and it didn't work against Terrence. So it's just crazy how everybody this is trash Derrick James now. You got dudes who want to be a trainer so bad. And, that they trashing Derrick James now. Oh, how you the trainer of the year? How you the trainer of the year, dog? How you the trainer? He the trainer of the year because he had a fighter who became an undisputed champion, right? And another fighter that unified 3 belts in what's proclaimed as one of the toughest divisions for a while. The welterweight division was heralded for years. Okay, heralded for years. Errol Spence got a 3rd belt after coming back from a car accident, got the 3rd belt from Yordenis Ugas and beat Ugas from pillar to post. Okay? And his Jermell Charlo became undisputed at 54. That's enough to get you trainer of the year. So don't act like it's just so preposterous and just so outlandish that he got trainer of the year. That's fucking ridiculous, especially due to the fact that a lot of black trainers have not been getting trainer of the year for years. Roger Mayweather, if my memory serves me correct, never was trainer of the year, even though he was having Floyd Mayweather looking like a well-oiled machine, looking like a boxing savant. Him and Floyd Mayweather Sr. had Floyd looking like a boxing savant, and Roger Mayweather never won trainer of the year, from what I remember. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, right? So now you got a black dude become trainer of the year, and you got other black dudes like Antonio Tarver talking about how you trainer of the year. Tarver, just say you like Bud a lot. You always say Errol you never liked Errol like that. Even when he was winning belts and defeating fighters, you never really cared for his style. You never liked him. This is your chance to shit on Errol Spence and his team and his stable without really going at Errol Spence the way you want to. You're going to attack Derrick James. Because you really can't go at Errol like that. You don't really want to go at the fighter like that because it's going to look like it's sour shit. But now you know it could be, it can seem justified, or it can seem warranted, or you can seem like, or they can give you the green light to go at Derrick James because he was the trainer and Errol didn't have a plan B or C, so it looks more justified and look like you're not hating, even though I can see it in you. It seems very personal, right? But yeah, now Derrick James is public enemy number one. Now they're trying to make it seem like Derrick was being a bully, or he was so wrong for talking about Bomac, and he did Bomac so wrong, and how he couldn't believe how immature Derrick was. Yes, Derrick got out of character. But if you ever seen Derrick James will never act like that. Ever. He never acts like that. Ever. Even when Tony Harrison was coming at Jermell, he never acted like that. Why did he act like that with Bomac? Because for years, and salute the Bo, because he put together a great game plan for Terrence Crawford to be effective against Errol Spence and to be able to severely outclass Errol Spence. He put together a masterful game plan, right? Gave great ring advice. But for years, Bomac was trashing Errol Spence like he wasn't shit. Like getting down on Errol Spence. At every turn, calling Errol Spence a drunk, saying Errol was living paycheck to paycheck, saying he would never pay for no Errol Spence fights. He gonna stream all his shit. You know what I mean? Saying Errol wasn't shit. All of that for years. Bernie the Boxer, another member of Terrence Crawford's stable, calling Errol Spence gay. He a drunk. He ain't shit. Errol ain't nothing. He is scared. Terrence Crawford and them calling Errol all type of pussies and take your panties off with your hoe ass and all that shit. And Errol was always trying to be. Errol for years was being the he wasn't really saying much. He was being a soft-spoken, calm and collected guy. Derrick James looks at Errol Spence like his son, an extension like his son. He's been training Errol since he was like a young boy. Since he was a young teenager. In his mid-teenage years, he's been training Errol Spence. So that he's going to look at that boy like that young man like his son. When he sees other people attacking his son, his fighter, who he looks at like a son for years, he's going to, the fatherly big brother instinct is going to come in to defend your little brother / son. This is going to happen. Especially the dude you didn't train up to be a champion. Right? You're going to defend him. So he was talking shit at Bomac for all the years that Bomac then was talking shit about his fighter for the longest. Now, oh my God, how could they do like that? How could they make fun of Bo? How could they do it? Bo been talking crazy for the longest of time, talking shit about Errol. Saying Errol wasn't shit. Errol ain't shit but a drunk. He living paycheck to paycheck, calling him broke. All of that shit. And even through all of that shit for years, Errol Spence was still saying, oh, no, man, I ain't gonna never stream Terrence Crawford fight. I'm a bad. I support black fighters. All of that. He was saying stand-up shit for the longest. It's when you see the end result now is, oh, Errol and them was too cocky. What? Now people can play armchair quarterback, yeah, because Errol lost, right? Now it's easy to say, oh, they was too cocky and all that. And then they will ignore that Terrence was Terrence and them been talking shit for years. They was trying to be on goon time with Errol for the longest, and Errol finally had enough. Derrick James finally had enough, and they decided to hit back. You can't get mad at the people when you talk crazy to them and they hit back finally. You can't get mad at that. You're going to ignore the fact that dude and them was talking shit for the longest. That side that Terrence and Bomac and them was talking crazy. Bernie the Boxer talking shit about Errol for years. Now it's just Errol and Derrick James getting out of character. Get the fuck out of here, dog. And salute Terrence is a phenomenal fighter. Exceptional. All-time generational talent. But I know what I saw. Again, if that was my father, and if I was Errol Spence in that situation, and Derrick James is my daddy, and they was talking crazy like that for the longest, my daddy would have been talking shit to Bo Mac and them as soon as they start talking crazy. I would have been talking. I'm a cool, calm, and collected person. I would have been getting on their ass. I told y'all, right? So now you getting mad at Derrick James for defending a guy that's a fighter that's like his son? What? Oh, he gonna make fun of Bo. How he gonna make fun of Bo like that? He getting on Bo ass because Bo been trying to get on Errol ass for the longest, and Errol had enough, and he riding with his fighter. Okay, that's what they came from. But Derrick James ain't never acted like that. He's never been Derrick just too cocky. And Derrick was, even when Tony Harrison was talking crazy, he was being cool, right? And I think it's because Jamel was fresh. I mean, Jamel had been in the stable for some years at that point. I think he took it more personal with Errol because he been training Errol up and they've been talking crazy. And Jamel has a different spirit about him where he's going to get that mean shit and aggressive shit off. Errol at times can be like Tim Duncan them and he be like, brush it off, whatever. Fuck. He can take the Jay-Z approach. Little ass peons, fuck out of here. Don't say nothing. Right? And so Derrick say, oh no. They coming at my boy. And my boy a cool dude at time. Errol can talk some shit now. He can talk some motherfucking shit. But you seeing it more recently. For years, Errol was really, he can be really chill and really soft-spoken at times, right? And Errol wasn't really hitting back for a while. He just then in the last year or so, he been hitting back strong. But before then, he wasn't saying nothing. So Derrick like, oh no, fuck that. That's why Derrick been saying what he been saying about Terrence, because Bo and them was saying that shit about Errol for the longest of time. Now we gonna act like Bo Mac and them the victims. And I wish Bo Mac the best of luck in this situation with the gun case, because it's crazy. They trying to hold him in jail till like October. I wish him the best of luck in this scenario. Hope everything work out for the brother. I don't want to see the brother locked up in jail or nothing like that. I'm not wishing none of that on him at all, because I wouldn't want to be in that situation myself. So wish that brother the best of luck in that situation. However, we're going to bring it back to this. We're going to bring it back to this situation. Yeah, man, they was talking crazy for the longest. Bo Mac and Bernie the Boxer, Team Crawford was talking crazy about Errol for years. Terrence Crawford's sister talking shit about Errol, all of that. Which is why Errol's sister and them finally had to come out the gate. I told y'all, let that be my sister now. My sister don't even cuss. My little sister curse. My older sister, 2 years older than me, she don't even cuss. She been ready to fuck everybody up in that bitch. Motherfuckers getting choked in this bitch, you hear me? for real. I'm real talk. Besides my sister, I'm really the most calm, chill, collected person in my family. Everybody else would smoke, for the most part. You hear me? My mama with all that. My daddy with all that. They educated, good-hearted people, kind people, but they ready to go all the way there. So I said, boy, they lucky. Errol was just being cool. And everybody like, oh, and people would say, oh, Terrence gonna beat him up. Man, fuck, the fight was gonna be the fight. Fuck out of here. Terrence was felt invigorated, though, because, people were saying he didn't fight nobody for years. And, he hadn't fought the best competition at welterweight because he hadn't. Right? And so I feel like he felt extra motivation. That's why you see the best of him in that fight. Because he felt extra motivated. Right? So I will say that. He fought better than he did against Benavidez and all them dudes. Because I think it was more personal for him with Errol because he wanted to prove he was better than Errol for years, right? And people looking at that like, oh shit, the Errol Spence I saw, Villa, whoever fought, the one that fought Boots last, he'd have beat Errol. Boy, Errol Spence beat the fuck out of that boy. I promise y'all. Bud really the only one that can do all that shit to Errol like that. Bud probably really the only one that can really do all that because Bud is just generational talent. Boots can crack, but I ain't really seen him be able to cut the ring off and shit like that for me to just say Boots and just do that to him. Right? He'd hit Errol with some shit though. Cause I do see that Errol really, now that, I don't know, since the accident, I did see he kind of flinches up at when he get hit a lot now. He kind of flinches up and kind of, I see him do like that a lot now when he gets hit for whatever reason. But not the accident, not why he lost the fight. You know what I'm saying? I feel like even before the accident, I just see the skill difference with him and Terrence Crawford. But yeah, man, now Derrick James just ain't shit. And now acting like Bo Magnum was just the victims and all of that, and Derrick was the bully. Derrick was never the bully in this situation. He was responding back to his fighter getting hit. Miles trying to throw bombs on his fighter for years, and he said, I had enough, I'm going to defend my guy. That's it, that's all. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.